A very good evening, dear esteemed viewer, and welcome to today's edition of Citizens and the Law. Citizens and the Law is a program aimed at demystifying all issues standing as strange before the gullible heirs and laypersons. In our today's special edition of Citizens and the Law, we are going to look at international humanitarian law. And with me here in the studio to get all the I's and T's dotted and crossed vis-a-vis provision of answers to all the questions is the founder of Renaissance Igbo nationalism. He is the national president of Nakama, the vice chairman of Red Cross in Anambra State, a gold medalist FCAI, and I am talking about Professor Peter Emeka Kachi. Prof, you are welcome to the studio.
Good, mascot. Good evening, viewers.
So all over the world, there is this regard for human life. Things has happened and happened and happened and keep happening. That the world body has kind of decided to add value or reflect the value to human life. And hence, some laws internationally guiding the life of human beings during conflict and all of that. And that is what we want to address today, and that is why Professor Kachi is here. He's a personality in anything that has to do with life. So, Prof, I welcome you again to the studio. The topic is international humanitarian law. Prof, let me start by asking you to tell the viewer out there and myself what this international humanitarian law is all about.
International humanitarian law is a distinct law of United Nations, the International Court at Hague, and the Geneva Conventions. It is a law that takes care of human beings, mostly the laws of armed conflicts during civil wars or during wars between nation and nation, and the laws that will guide them in fighting or prosecuting that war. And also, it has the one we call, they regulate that war, which is ad bellum, to make sure that the conduct of the war is in order, is called jus bello. And that is to make sure that people are not mishandled, maltreated, subjugated to indignities because there is war. Thank you.
When you look at this international humanitarian law, you mentioned The Hague, you mentioned the International Court of Justice at The Hague, you mentioned Geneva. Can you drive this point home very well? That's Geneva and Hague. Can you talk more about them?
Geneva is international humanitarian laws guiding the civil populace against any war, maltreatment of the people, subjugating the people, and also prisoners of conscience, prisoners of war, women in war, pregnant women in war. But the international law at Hague is to regulate the conduct of people, including those who will commit genocide, those who will kill unarmed persons, those who will subject other persons to hardship. They will be brought to Hague at international court, and justice will be meted to them if they do not obey or if they violate the law that sets up the international justice at Hague.
Who takes care of violation of these laws that is taken care of by this international body? Who takes care of the violations?
There is a standing committee, a standing authority that takes care of that. That authority takes care of all violations, human rights violations, and also guide against such things during the war where it is state or non-state, because there is what we call combatants and non-combatants. When it is state that is in war, that is where the soldiers of a country is in war. It is different from where militants, herdsmen, Boko Haram, ISIS, and all of them are fighting a war, or whatever they call themselves, or whatever that makes them to be militating against other people.
Do they have a global satellite that enables them to know what is happening wherever in the whole world, or do they act under invitation?
They have global satellites. As I'm speaking to you now, there are what we call recorders. The recorders are recording crimes against humanity, genocide against humanity. Somebody you see today that looks very big and is a head of state can tomorrow be arraigned before the Hague. And when he's arraigned before the Hague, that means he has committed offense against humanity, genocide, and the rest of them, or conduct of war, or giving people order to go and kill other people because of a position, or you ascribe to yourself, Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, then you ask others to kill defenseless persons. Children, boys that were carrying placards or wearing T-shirts, inscribe a name, they have no arms. They don't carry arms, they don't bear arms, you kill them. It is being compiled. If that person leaves office, he will be arraigned to you will face trial. You will face trial. You will face trial.
To leave the office before he is arraigned.
Because he has immunity. The law of that country gives him immunity. Governors have immunity, president has immunity.
Okay.
If the president of Nigeria violates this law, when he leaves office, he will be arraigned in Hague. Remember Charles Taylor. You never know that is going to happen to him. He ran into Nigeria. And at the time he ran into Nigeria, the international police has come. He cannot go further. And nobody could help him, even Obasanjo cannot help him. So what happened to him was that in the street of Nigeria, he was arrested and put to the nearest flight and taken to Hague to go and face his own. The president of Rwanda, it happened to him. That of Omar Bashir of Northern Sudan is a wanted person in Hague. At the appropriate time, he will be arraigned, in as much as he was trying to use his clandestine connections in OAU, they call themselves African Union now, to protect himself. At the end of it, he will be properly arraigned because he committed genocide. So there's nobody that commits genocide that will escape the wrath of the law at international court at Hague, except if there's no charges before him. Some of Nigerian head of state, there are charges before them now. At the appropriate time, they will be arraigned, and they will never escape. If Abacha is still alive, Abacha would have been arraigned. But God saved him a lot of problems. He just died, the one they call a natural death.
Okay, thank you, Prof. You are watching Citizens and the Law on ABS television, channel 2 for Oka. And the topic we are handling is there on the screen, the international humanitarian law that has to do with the law of armed conflict. With me here in the studio getting this topic well addressed is Professor Peter Mekakachi, the National President of NACAMA, the Vice Chairman of Red Cross in Anambra State, the founder of Renaissance Igbo Nationalism, and gold medalist FCAI. Let's observe a break. We'll be right back.
Be part of the creative economy. Join the August intake of ABS Film Academy for the 3-month certificate course in filmmaking and media. Get professional and practical training in acting, cinematography, script writing, video editing, graphic design, animation, directing, producing, special effects makeup, and broadcast journalism. Registration form is 1,000 Naira. Cost fee is 30,000 Naira. Classes starts on the 1st of August 2018. To register, pick up a form at Anambra Broadcasting Service, Aroma Junction, Oka, or download an online form at www.absradiotv.com. For inquiries and partnership, call 0703 531 4457 or 0701 3423 229. ABS Film Academy. Theory meets practice.
sometime in Nigeria, Prof, there was hooliganism, there was loss of life. To cap it all, there was genocide, which led to the outbreak of war in Nigeria. I don't know, has there been this Hague and Geneva before this time? Because, I don't know, that genocide in Nigeria, has it been addressed or yet to be addressed?
That particular one was circumvented when the government then introduced the 3R, reconciliation, rehabilitation, and everything. They used the 3R of reconciliation and everything, and they came back to disemphasize on the war by saying, no victor, no vanquish. So they pulled the wolves on the eyes of the international court at stake because we have people. But at times our people are very pretentious. Those who are supposed to arraign those who committed genocide did not. Otherwise, somebody like Murtala Mohammed wouldn't have been the head of state in Nigeria because he committed genocide in Asawa with Colonel Ibrahim Taiwo. They would have been arraigned there to face the wrath of all the people they killed in Delta area between Opanami, Wuzo, and the rest of them. They killed a lot of people. They assembled them. And
Civilians?
Civilians. They told them to come and declare. That is that. You have not heard about the blood on the Niger. They arraigned them. They brought people. People came dancing. Defenseless persons came dancing. Males. They shot all of them dead. And that was why, when God's judgment came, in the coup of Bukasuka Dinka, it was only Murtala Mohammed and Colonel Taiwo Ibrahim. In far away in Lorry, a geographically disadvantaged place, he was killed in a coup. When others who are in metropolitan states were not touched. You see, the genocide, nobody, our people did not muster courage to come out and place their charge. If they had placed their charge, Murtala Mohammed wouldn't have been a Nigerian head of state because he committed genocide.
When you look at the present situation in Nigeria, vis-a-vis the herdsmen and all that, and then you look at this international humanitarian law, you look at the law of Hague and the Geneva, I want to ask you, what do you have to say about Nigerian situation, genocide and human violence?
You know, when we talk about that, we talk about states. There is a situation of state and non-state. State in the sense that the government is the state, army is the state, and every aspect of the army, the navy, the air force, the police are the state, under the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Then the non-state is all those within internal strife. The people like the Boko Haram, which federal government was very reluctant to declare them as terrorists until USA did that. They didn't want to do that, and it is surprising. They used to tag them, they call them insurgents. What are they searching for? Then you look at the herdsmen. The way it is being described is astonishing. They call it mere herdsmen and farmers clash. But if you look at what is happening, you find out that it has crossed the level of mere clash. It is no longer a mere clash. It is a military expedition. Expedition in the sense of killing people to acquire their land, killing people to take their homelands, killing people to take their nativity. So it's not an easy thing. It's not a laughing matter. But the thing is that in that same inertia, lack of leadership inertia, they have not been given a name. There's no nomenclature for the herdsmen and herdsmen invasion, as far as Nigeria is concerned. They are not classified as terrorists. But every day you hear in the telly and on newspaper, militia. Militia is people that are carrying arms against a people or against a state. So if they are carrying these arms and are doing this in a struggle, either they are struggling for their independence or they are struggling for adventure to capture other people and harass others. These are the issue. So now, the terrorists are not army, they are not state. The herdsmen, the Boko Haram are not state, they are not army. The herdsmen, the same thing, they are not state, they are not army. Now, if we are looking at these people and we want to use international humanitarian laws at them, the government that is the legalized authority that has jus bellum should first of all wake up. It is when the army is in jus bellum against these terrorists that you will now be able to regulate them under jus bellum.
Jus bellum, can you describe to the viewer there?
Jus bellum is the intricacies, the cause and the law regulating the war. The other one is the conduct during the conduct, where there will be no rape, where there will be no annexation, where there will be no subjugation, where prisoners of war will not be treated anyhow, where women will not be raped, where pregnant women will be preserved, where you cannot detain a woman and a man in the same cell or in the same facility. So these are the things that are very important in this issue. So federal government is still confusing us, confusing the entire nation by not giving these people the classified position, so that if it is to execute war with them, good. If it is to call international organizations to come and help. So they have been under hiding and they are doing a lot of things. Since January till now, we have lost almost 2,000 persons. And government is sweeping it under carpet. They are not even talking about it. And there are censorship. And some people don't even number people that have been victims of these people. And you look at it, everybody is trying to be complacent. And those who are supposed to speak out are having this conspiracy of silence. They don't want to talk because they don't want to march on powerful toes, maybe because of their benefits.
Okay, I think I will ask you the next part of this very question now. There's something I will ask you more about that. But just before that, dear esteemed viewer, this is Citizens and the Law program on ABS Television, Channel 2 for Oka. And we are just handling a topic known as the International Humanitarian Law. And with me here in the studio is Professor Peter Emeka Kachi, the National President of NACAMA, the founder of Renaissance Igbo Nationalism, the Vice President of Red Cross in Anambra State, and the gold medalist of the FCAI. Right now, I want to open the line so that people out there will begin to make calls, ask questions, and make your contributions on this very topic. The numbers are 070 627 241 92 070 627 24192, or you can call us on 090 729 72090. The numbers are clearly written there on the screen. You can see the numbers. What you have to do for us is you tune down the volume of your TV set and maintain a little bit of a distance from your TV set so that we can hear you clear. Citizens and the Law on ABA Television, Channel 2 for Oka. Topic is International Humanitarian Law, clearly also written on the screen there. And Professor Kachi is here in the studio, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, providing questions to the answers being thrown our team. Okay, Prof, I said I will ask you something close to what you answered before. Can the destruction of lives and properties and displacement of people from their ancestral homes in Nigeria be taken care of by the international humanitarian law? People are killed and pursued away from their ancestral homes. Women and children are dying ages. People are being killed. What can the international humanitarian law do? Or can they come in except when they are invited by the government in power? What exactly is going to happen?
The truth about it is that you must call a spade a spade. You cannot just see terrorists and you nickname them insurgents. You cannot see terrorists and you call them herders. When you say they are herders are harmless people taking their cattle around the bush. So if you call them their name, if you give them their name, if you gazette their name, then other nations around you will come to help you. International committee will come to help you. Then, international law at Hague, we know that there is problem in your country. You talk about IDPs, look at massive displacement of people. Almost 4 million persons are in internally displaced camps all over Nigeria.
Displaced from their ancestral homes.
From their homes. And it's not been, Nigeria is not even raising the issue. Nigeria is doing it like an internal matter. It's not even an external war. It's being used as an internal matter. The issue of Boko Haram has not been raised to a reasonable level. They have not been raised to a terrorist level, and they have been granted amnesty. The headers are talking a different thing. They are even making a lot of claims. And with the headers now, Nigeria is in trouble because we have no territorial integrity. If a header in Nigeria, by any name they call themselves, claims that every land belongs to them, everywhere is their own, and they move from different countries into our own country, and they say that by ECOWAS law, they don't need passport to travel, they don't need anything. Anywhere they are is their home. And they're even boasting on how they will chase us away from our various homes. And government is not even taking it serious. It's only when federal government, not state, when federal government is taking it serious, that we will know the name of these people and know where to classify them. You cannot apply international law on non-state combatants. They are non-state combatants. Can't apply professional international humanitarian laws on them. You cannot apply state laws on them. You cannot classify them. So these are the issues of conspiracy of silence in Nigeria. It is when America classified Boko Haram as terrorists. And even up to now, as the government take it up or see it wise to say that Boko Haram is a terrorist group, then the headers now have alien henchmen with sophisticated weapons, killing people in many villages, annexing the villages, and coming to put their Sharia flag in those places and taking over people's villages in Benue and Plateau and other places. Those people, what is their name? At times you see newspapers, people are confusing it. They call them militia. They call them herdsmen militia. If herdsman is militia, what is he militating? Then he's an invader. He's a terrorist. Until we classify these people very well, then outside help will come to us.
There is a confusion here. They are poor people, they have no gun, they have nothing. They are terrorists classified by Nigeria government. Then the Fulani herdsmen, they have AK-47 and all that, doing all they want, destroying, killing people, wanton killing here and there. They are classified as non-terrorists. They are militia. So the confusion is, can you, in your capacity, give us or give the viewer out there the real definition of terrorist? Who is a terrorist?
A terrorist is an annihilator. A terrorist is an annihilator. He annihilates people.
In other words,
he obliterates people. He kills people.
Yeah.
He annexes their village. He takes their women in slavery. He occupies, he's an occupier, it's an army of occupier, a terrorist. He can kill, he can occupy, he can acquire as a terrorist. And if you look at the system, it's a terrorist something. But the thing is that they are creating rules to put rules on our eyes. They are pulling rules on our eyes. But unfortunately, those who are supposed to speak for us are not speaking for us. If we want to call a spade, we know the truth. Then you cannot just see a terrorist and you pretend he's not a terrorist. Then you are talking about IPOB. IPOB is a kind of liberation agitators. And they are armless liberation agitators. Nobody can label you a militia with a flag or a hand fan. But in Nigeria here, people are being labeled militia, hand flag, this and that. And I'm surprised that even government is saying that IPOB is a terrorist group. When the terrorist group are there, maybe their mother is a disfavored mother. Those who were born by favored mothers, even if they carry AK-47, even if they move about Nigerian streets in armored tanker, they are not terrorists. And we keep quiet. It is subjugation. It is humiliation. And more than 150 persons have been killed. Others are in detention. They are facing trial, facing continuous trial. Somebody that does not have any arm is being tried, and his organization is labeled a terrorist organization. Somebody that has been killing people every day, people are crying. You see the dead persons, we have their names, you know their names, you know everything, and it is being pretended. They will call it herders and mere herders and farmers clash. What a nomenclature.
Well, this week, I think we have a caller here. Hello? 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 Prof, what is war crime? Can you give example of war crime?
War crime is where there is crisis in a country or between a country, and those who are the combatants did not comply with the rules that guides or regulates warfare.
Hello? Hello? Go ahead.
So that is war crime. That is why most of the time, if army commits war crime, the commander-in-chief will be arraigned. It is his duty to make sure that his army conducts themselves very well during the war. And there is law of conduct, which is jus bello. And if they do not conduct themselves in a war front, subjugate people, kill people, they will be arraigned at the appropriate time to international court at Hague, and it will be called war crime. That was why Charles Taylor was arraigned. War crime also can emanate where you use unauthorized weapons, where you use chemical weapons like Saddam Hussein used against the Kurdish tribe. If Hussein is alive, Hussein will be arraigned to international court at Hague because he committed genocide, he committed war crime.
Well, in some quarters, we had the information from social media and some other areas that the Igbos are promised to wait for the worst coming ahead, that they are going to suffer the same ethnic cleansing or things like that. I don't know to what extent is this true. Whether it is true or not, assuming it is true, what's your comment?
Igbos are not going to suffer anything. Let me tell you something. Where we are today is where we place ourselves. Igbos are...
We have a caller. Hello? Hello? Yeah, raise your voice, your name and location. Please, if you want to call again, the first thing you do is to tune down the volume of your TV set, then maintain a little distance so that we can get you clear. The numbers to call 090-729-72090, 090-729-72090, or 070-627-24192, although these numbers are clearly written on your TV set. So please, Prof, you may continue.
Yes. When you are talking about those that were involved in Igbo or threats to Igbo.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, your name and location. Go ahead.
Igbos are special creatures. They are special human beings. We are not disturbed by mere threats of ordinary people who have lower intelligence quotients than the Igbos. An average Igbo man has a very high intelligence quotient. And somebody that has a very high intelligence quotient cannot be frightened of any threat. The Biafran War was properly executed. And are you aware that during the Civil War...
Hello? Hello? Hello. Talk louder. Tune down the volume of your TV set. Go ahead, Prof.
We went nuclear. We went nuclear during the Civil War. We have our aeroplanes. We manufactured our bombs, which we use with Biafran babies. We have Ogbuniwe. We have Ojuku buckets. We have a lot of things.
We have a call again. Hello? Hello?
So we were in nuclear. During the Civil War, there was no fuel scarcity in Biafra. In every village, you see somebody that can just have a kind of native refinery, refine fuel. You collect fuel from there. As long as you have a vehicle, it carries you to where you want to go. That is Igbos for you. Then, the problem we have as an Igbo is that we are encumbered in this present arrangement of Nigeria, which I always say that the old Nigeria has expired in 2014 and the new Nigeria can be rearranged and negotiated so that we move ahead in a new Nigeria.
Hello?
Hello?
Your name and location? Your TV set. Tune down the volume of your TV set. Then your name and location. Your name and location.
So that is it. We are not afraid of empty threats. There are potential scientists who are moving about. In Nigeria, in Biafra, in Igbo land, as I'm telling you now, in the whole southeast, we may not need to import arms to defend ourselves because we have scientists that are knowledgeable in chemical weapons. And they are here. We are not making noise.
Okay.
I have told you before that when an Igbo man pulls his shirt, he will not put it back. If he does not throw a punch, you throw a punch, a serious punch. And as you see me here, I cannot just pull this my coat now. When I pull it, I'll throw a punch before I put it back. So that is Igbo for you. We have that characteristics, and we are very resilient. But the point is that
I have another caller. Hello? Hello? We have a problem with all these callers today. You're serious with your calls?
At times,
the numbers are on your screen.
At times, we are distracted in this federation. This is a federation that is not a true federation. The last true federation was between 1960 to 1966. There is no physical federation. There is no federal character. And you're talking about, what are you talking about? Who is that is threatening us? When they threaten us, the good things in us will come out. We will not go out. I even do, but but the only thing is that we are Christians. We are not wicked people. If we are wicked people, if they go to import bombs, we cannot import bombs. Bridge here and there, we collect chemicals that can give us bombs. We make our bombs.
Hello?
So what we don't need to. We are Christians.
Hello?
They should know that. But let them not threaten us. If they threaten us, they will regret. This is the only place that their cattle colonization will not work. This is the only place all those things will not work. And it is not going to work. We are just trying to give allowances and latitude to certain things.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, your name and location. Tune down the volume of your TV set. Tune down the volume.
So the threat is an empty threat. We're not bothered about it.
Okay.
When the threat comes up, on any day, Amwekwe, ndị Igbo, scientists Igbo niile apụta. Ife na-eme n'Igbo. Amwekwe, asị Igbo, onye mmanụ nke o ji nya pụta, onye mmanụ nke o ji nya were pụta, Igbo apụta. Ka ife ga-alụ anya malụ, what can they do that we will not do? What can they do that we will not do? We don't need anybody.
These laws of the international body, humanitarian laws,
Yes.
Both internal laws, they seems to be suffering from non-implementation. Is there any way out?
They have been implemented. It is our senior brothers that are not wanted our own to be implemented. Our senior brothers. If they wanted it to be implemented, it will be implemented. It's our senior brothers.
Who are these senior brothers?
Ndị diokpara no, diokpara. Ibu diokpara. Onwe ndị bụ ndị diokpara. Onwe ndị na-ekwu, anyị nwa na-ekwu.
Hello.
Anyị na-nke a discussion ka anyị na-eme.
Yeah? Your name and location?
My name is Sebastian Gold.
Tune down the volume of your TV set. Okay, go ahead and ask your question. Your name?
My name is Sebastian.
Okay, Prof, can you just come up with the law of Hague and the law of Geneva? Is there any need the laws of Geneva and Hague?
The laws of Geneva is humanitarian laws protecting civilians in times of war, in times of crisis, and during things that put people in difficulty.
Wow.
That is the law of Geneva.
What's the color?
The law of Hague.
Hello? Yeah? Tune down the volume of your TV set. What's your name and location?
My name is
Uchenna. From where are you calling us? From Oka here, okay? Go ahead with your question. Ask your question, Uchenna.
The law of Hague is a military law. It is a law to restrict the military excesses in times of war.
Yeah.
And to make them know how to conduct when there is crisis, when there is military crisis or military expedition, what is their limitations, and what they will do that will be a criminal offense.
Yeah.
Because that you're carrying arms does not mean. Okay, if in your
hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah? Your name and location?
I'm calling from Abuna.
From Abuna. What's your name? Is that Uchenna again?
No, he's a former Okafor.
Informer from Obuna, go ahead with your question, but tune down the volume of your TV so that we can get you better.
Now,
we have a caller here. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, your name and location.
Hello.
Yeah, your name and location.
Hello.
I'm hearing you. What's your name?
It's Mr. Michael calling from.
Okay, Michael from Obuna, go ahead with your question quickly because we are coming to the end of the program. Okay, Prof.
Now, this
just
is
in summary, because time is up.
This is a country where you use army for civil matters.
Yeah.
You use army for elections. You use army for students' demonstration.
Yeah.
You will even use army for ceremony. Are you getting me?
And police.
Can you forget the police is civil force?
Yeah.
Police is supposed to be everywhere. But when you start army, that police does not have this, because that is why every policeman that commits offense will be arraigned immediately. But army is a situation of war. He's going to war. He uses a heavy weapons, sophisticated weapons, armored tankers, every other thing.
Yeah.
He can even use jet and throw bombs. It's different. The other day, there was an election in Ekiti. An army aircraft went to conduct an election in Ekiti. Military personnel with sophisticated weapons went to conduct an election in Ekiti. In a democratic setup. Where is the democratic principles? Is it still government of the people, by the people, and for the people? Or is it a forceful government of the army, or a government of combatants? Is this not intimidation? It's a violation of international humanitarian laws for the civilians who are expecting police to come and assist to conduct this thing.
So what advice would you want to give to Nigerians, those affected by these conflicts and the massacre?
It is a violation of international humanitarian rights and the laws of faith to use army to go conduct civil elections, democratic elections. To use army to go and quell riots in a school. To use army to go and stop peaceful demonstration in a village.
Okay, I would have asked you also to advise the senior brothers, but time is not our friend again.
You want our senior brothers to be advised? Let them wake up.
They should wake up. Okay, that's our statement.
Our senior brothers.
I want to say thank you very much. There is you are there. You've been watching Citizens and the Law.
Let them wake up and help us and stop us.
Thank you, Prof.
And stop us from all this.
Our time is up. Our time is up. Okay, thank you, there is viewer. You've been on watching Citizens and the Law, and the program has been International Humanitarian Law. The guests have been Professor Peter Emeka Kachi, the national president of NACAMA, the founder of Igbo Renaissance Nationalism, the deputy chairman or the vice chairman of Red Cross in Anambra State, gold medalist FCAI, has been here in the studio with me. Jude Mascot Obiagu is my name. Thank you very much, or immensely, for being a part of this very program. Next week, don't forget, we are going to do something that is important again. That might be road users and the law, so you do wait for it. Thank you very much.